back market as well.
Are you? Well, how many people are interested in the Ezekiel Elliott running back sweepstakes besides you?
Probably
Danny?
not too many.
Avoid using heat-generating appliances like stoves and dishwashers during the day. Use them during off-peak hours in the evening to minimize the effects of heat and save on electric costs. Late evening and early morning is also the best time to water plants and lawns, as water is less prone to evaporation. When we each share our one thing, it becomes 100 things, 1,000 things, 1,000,000 things for our planet. What's your one thing?
Hop into Vons today and see what you've been missing. Give us an opportunity to show you our great selection and everyday low prices. Appliances, Vons value price $249. Lift chairs starting at $799. Mattresses, Serta, Simmons, Corsicana. Vons value price at $199 per set. No credit, low credit, build it at Vons today. We offer 4-month layaway, 12 months no interest financing for qualified guests. We also offer rent to own with easy approval. Remember, if you didn't buy it at Vons, you paid too much.
It's important to make sure you're hitting on draft picks. We know how you can get set back if you miss on draft picks. Can't afford to miss on high draft picks, obviously. You can't afford to miss really on any first-round draft picks, period. So without all those reasons being said, I think there is more pressure on the offensive side of the football to perform this year.
Subscribe to Peachtree Football, available on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late-night bites.
This sports update is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Texas Pro Baseball team is holding on to first place in their division after a strong start coming out of All-Star Weekend. Texas is facing interstate rival Houston and San Diego this week in hopes to keep their hot streak alive and shift their focus to the second half of the season. For all your auto part needs, shop your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store or shop online at O'ReillyAuto.com. O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people.
Win today, win now, win big with Oscar's, Jack's Pub, and J&J Gaming. Brand new machines, new games, win big and have fun.
I just won.
Enjoy happy hour Monday through Friday from 4 to 6. $5 Tito's and Captain, $4 White Claws, $4 23-ounce domestic drafts, 95-cent wings, half-price appetizers. Oscar's, Jack's Pub, and J&J Gaming. Win now, win big. Oscar's Pub and Grill, 5980 East State Street, Rockford, and Jack's Pub, 4160 North Perryville Road, Loves Park.
I tell you, the folks at Zero Buzz must be feeling great this summer because the July summer sale is fabulous. 15% off all cleaning services. Got to mention me, and you got to mention the game. Sandra from the game told me that I can get my carpets cleaned, my area rugs cleaned, all the upholstered furniture, the tile, the air ducts, everything 15% off. It really is a perfect time to book. ZeroResAtlanta.com. You can pick your time and your day, or if you'd like to call, you can go 770-242-1313. Say, Sandra told me to call. I want my air ducts cleaned, and I would also like the area rug to be picked up. And oh yeah, of course, the carpet. They do it better than anybody. No harsh chemicals are coming into your house, and it's going to look like a brand new house. I'm telling you, it is the best time to clean your carpets in the summer. Tell them I sent you, ZeroResAtlanta.com, or call them 404-242-1313. That's Zero Res.
Thanks to the Xfinity 10G network, my little brother's friends won't leave our house. When I was their age, internet with basically no interruptions was a pipe dream.
You sound like my grandpa.
Now through July 30th, new customers can get 200 megabit internet on the Xfinity 10G network for just $35 a month for 2 years with no annual contract. Go to Xfinity.com/10G, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply to internet service and devices. Actual speeds vary.
Odyssey's I'm Listening is our commitment to more mental health conversations. Here's Corey Taylor of Slipknot on getting the help you need.
When people feel like they can't get any help, that's when they isolate and that's when they hurt themselves. Find what works. If it's medication, it's medication. If it's therapy, it's therapy. If it's both, it's both. But don't be afraid to try both. You know, there's nothing wrong with admitting that you need help.
Talk saves lives. For more mental health conversations, visit imlistening.org.
MLBshop.com has everything you need to rep the team you believe in, the players you love, and the community you come from. So snag all those hoodies, caps, jerseys, and swag, and wear your pride with style at home, on the streets, and wherever you go. And with exclusive offers every day, you can unapologetically strut your stuff for a price you love as much as your team. Visit MLBshop.com, the official online shop of Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
Reliable's 45th anniversary, and everyone gets free air conditioning this summer. Get a new heating and cooling system and no payments until 2025. That's 18 months. Get your free consultation by visiting reliableair.com or simply call 770-594-9969. You can also book your appointment online at reliableair.com and click on the schedule service button. 45th anniversary for Reliable Heating and Air.
The Atlanta United play here.
WZGC Atlanta, WZGC HD1. Always free on the Odyssey app. Back with more Full-Time Report.
A complete review of today's match on Sports Radio 92.9 The Game.
In penalties, Cruz Azul 5-4 over Atlanta United in a match that ended 1-1 at the end of regulation. Atlanta United is out of the 2023 Leagues Cup. Cruz Azul moving on to play Charlotte. Charlotte has a home game, but it's not going to be in Charlotte. Reportedly, it's going to be played in Frisco, Texas, because
it's going to be played there.
Bank of America Stadium is tied up next week. I'm not exactly sure for what.
Charlotte posted after they announced that it would be played in Frisco. Charlotte FC on Twitter, on the X, I guess, said, due to stadium commitments made before Leagues Cup 2023 was scheduled, Bank of America Stadium is unavailable to host the round of 32. The club made every effort to explore alternative venues in the area, but was unable to secure one in line with the operational requirements of the tournament. There's a football fan fest the night before, and Beyonce is in concert on August 9th.
August 9th.
I guess that would be later on. If
that could actually impact Charlotte's ability to host further rounds,
yes.
I would imagine.
Yes.
Well, I want to be careful. I once made a comment that got the Bay Hive very upset at me, so
don't do that.
I'm not going to stir that hornet's nest.
Don't
but
do that.
Cruz Azul now going to Dallas. They'll probably have the home pitch advantage, to be honest with you.
They absolutely will have it. I don't think there's a huge Charlotte support group in Frisco, Texas. I'm sure there are a lot of Cruz Azul fans there.
One of the big kicks in the stomach with the way this ended tonight for Atlanta United, had they won in penalties, we would be back here Wednesday. Atlanta United, we were not allowed to say this during the match, but I guess the cat's out of the bag now. Atlanta United would have hosted Charlotte on Wednesday had they won. That's just them's the breaks, I guess. Atlanta United wants to remind you that for each Atlanta United clean sheet this season, they'll donate $2,000 to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. This year's donation total currently $12,000. Let's get to the highlights of the match. Only goal in the first half scored by Cruz Azul. Came in the 20th minute, and it came off a throw-in. We've dissected that goal a couple times now. You heard Gonzalo Pineda asked about it earlier. Here is the goal, which is scored by Moises in the 20th minute. Thrown to the right side of the 18, headed up in the air, under at Rotondi. Pass to a wide-open teammate, shot, score. The wide-open teammate was Augusto Lati, who was not marked. And Atlanta United concedes the first goal again.
Two headers inside the 18. It's a throw-in. The first header finds Lochte, and Robinson and Hernandez both collapse on it. Neither one win the header. Hernandez came across, should have stayed where he was. Robinson also should have gotten to the spot first anyway, so Hernandez doesn't come across. both of them go for it, don't win it, and that leaves Moises on the back post wide open.
Third time in the last 4 competitions, Atlanta United conceded the first goal. They obviously did not win any of those. In the second half, though, momentum clearly on Atlanta United's side. And in fact, prior to the goal scored by Almada in the 75th minute, Cruz Azul had only 1 shot in the second half. I know some people will argue that game state was part of that, but I think, again, objectively, Atlanta United, once they brought on Edwin Mosquera, they were really opening up Cruz Azul, and Mosquera gets the assist here in the 75th minute on the hot play of the match, brought to you by Scana. This goal by Thiago Almada. Cut back pass. Mosquera takes a touch. Edge of the 6. Drop back. Here's a shot. Score! Thiago Almada! And now Atlanta United is right back in this with 15 minutes to play.
A great ball from Almada to hit it all the way to the opposite side. Lennon keeps it alive. Mosquera drives into the 18, and it falls to Almada at the top of the 18. I don't know if Mosquera necessarily laid it off to him, or if it was maybe knocked away, or if maybe under duress he knocks it back to Almada. But it's a great first-time finish from Thiago Almada, who started the play and finish the play.
For over 20 years, Scana Energy has made it easy for Georgians to receive the best natural gas rates and excellent customer service. Call 877-467-2262 to sign up today. That then led us to the penalty shootout in a do-or-die situation for both of these teams. The winner would go on to play Charlotte. The loser would be eliminated. Atlanta United won the coin toss. They had the opportunity to go first in the shootout. Brooks Lennon up to the spot first. He scores despite the goalkeeper, Orado, getting a hand on it, but he does score. And then Carlos Salcedo hits the crossbar for Cruz Azul, and it's 1-0 after 1 round to Atlanta United. Tristan Mayumba and Ignacio Rivero both score in the second round. It is then 2-1 to Atlanta United. In the third round, it begins with Miguel Berry. His penalty is saved. A good save by Warado. And Christian Tabot follows that up with a goal for Cruz Azul. 2-2 after 3 rounds. In the fourth round, Thiago Almada scores for Atlanta. Carlos Rotandi scores for Cruz Azul. In the fifth round, Yorgos Yakimakis scores for Atlanta United. That means if Uriel Antuna was saved or missed, Atlanta United would have won. Antuna, after a very elaborate run up to the ball, did score on Brad Guzan. That made it 4-4 after 5 rounds. Now you're essentially in sudden death. And here is how it ended, with Juanjo Parata going to the penalty spot for the beginning of round 6 to Atlanta United. Again, the shootout tied at 4 at this point. Hands on hips for Parata. He looks at the net. He struts up to the ball. He strikes it and misses. Now Cruz Azul can win if they put this one past Brad. And here's how that unfolded, with Augusto Lati going up to the spot for the game winner for Cruz Azul. Again, action at the goal to our right. Guzan standing behind the end line. Lati looking at the ball. He's up to it. He strikes it. He scores. Cruz Azul wins. Atlanta United is done in Leagues Cup. And there you have it, 5-4 in 6 rounds of penalties to Cruz Azul. And again, I know a lot of people are fired up on the Bird app about why was Parata taking a penalty, but we just kind of went through it here in the booth. At that point, when you get beyond your first 5 penalty takers, your options are really down to center backs. Ozzy Alonso was an option at that point. Edwin Mosquera was an option at that point. You're not going to have Brad take a penalty in round 6.
Some teams have goalkeepers who will take them.
I don't.
Not Brad.
Yeah, I don't
Not
think
Brad.
Guzan. Although Brad,
not sixth.
Former midfielder,
not sixth,
but not sixth. So I mean, if you want to get upset about anything, I really think going after the penalty order and having Parata take one is barking up the wrong tree, in my opinion.
Your options were Edwin Mosquera, Ozzy Alonso, Luis Abram, Miles Robinson, Brad Kazan. Those were your options. When you get past 5, and even in your 5, there is a back.
Cup play right now. Orlando leads Santos Laguna 2-1 in that matchup. It's Pumas leading DC United 1-0 early going in the 6th minute. And also Austin FC and Juarez playing in a 0-0 scoring line. That is in the 7th minute of play. Only 5 games on the Leagues Cup schedule. There's more tomorrow. A lot of intra-league matchups, including a big matchup between Toronto and Atlas as well. Monterrey and Seattle also still to come. And the one thing that I think we're seeing right now is that I'm wondering with some of these officiating crews too, you're seeing some frustration from the Mexican side, seeing frustration from the American sides with these hybrid crews. I'm wondering how that'll play out as the later rounds go on.
It's just different. You know, you have to learn to adjust. You have to learn to play the game that you have in front of you and not complain about the referees, just get along with it, quite frankly. And I think that we saw Charlotte FC adjust to the refereeing standard to get away with what they could get away with and some smart tactical fouling. And in the end, I think that doesn't have to be a factor. You've got to play your game. You've got to impose your style. You've got to perform. You don't ever want to be looking back and blaming the referees or the standard of refereeing. You want to focus on the result at hand and making sure you never let the referees interfere with your result.
I just know one thing. It's great, once again, to win in this building and great to have the kind of result that we had. 4-1, Charlotte beats Necaxa. We'll talk this week.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer. The broadcast manager of Tepper Sports is Amy Martin. Brand manager is Def Rickard. His assistant is Colin Hager. Chief engineer is Ron Tollison. Studio operations by Aaron Tropscheider. And our producer engineer in the booth is Matt Hogan. Charlotte FC is next in action against Cruz Azul on Thursday at Toyota Stadium in Dallas. Kick time is set for 8:30. For Jessica Shawman and Matt Hogan and Aaron Shropshire, our entire crew here. Once again, the final score, Charlotte FC 4, Necaxa 1. I'm Will Pelagic saying, hope you enjoyed as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you on the Charlotte FC Radio Network.